You're listening to episode 146 of the Product Boss Podcast.
And we wanted to jump in before we jump into the podcast and talk a little bit about what we're seeing in terms of shifts, evolutions, and strategies that are happening during the time of social distancing and COVID-19. So as we go through this podcast episode, which is an amazing interview, we want you to think about, and what we're seeing in terms of trends is that there will be an evolution into hygiene, clean body or clean beauty, clean products, and vegan products. So with what's happened right now, where this disease has been going around being thought of that it has come from an animal, that people are going to shift away from animal byproducts or things that are tested on animals. And there will be this shift in consciousness of consumerism.
Right. I think people will just simply be more self-aware of the fact that they should be washing their hands. They should be realizing what's ingested in their body, even if it's, through their armpits in this case, right? Because we interview her about the deodorant that she came out with. So really the shift of consumer buying and what they're putting towards their own health and wellness.
And also just thinking about sustainability and thinking about the environment. There is so much right now coming up for people, and people's priorities will be shifting, or they will be more cautious of something. So we want you to just think about this. She came out with this business before this, but right now where she can lean in truly is that she has a clean product, a vegan-based product. It is Smell Sweet Company. It is a USDA organic vegan deodorant. And there's just a lot that she can do, because even if it's a trend, it's where the consumerism will lean to. So as you go through this, think about your business, think about how people are shopping from home and trying to make their home a better and more inviting place. And then also when they're thinking about, like Mina said, hygiene, clean beauty, and how they take care of themselves and their immunity.
Yeah. So let's get started.
Welcome to the Product Boss Podcast, where we help product-based businesses grow their sales and improve their strategies.
Hey everyone, I want to introduce you to my co-host and biz bestie, Mina Kunlo-Sitep, an Amazon guru that has built a multi-six-figure product-based business.
And introducing the other half of the Product Boss, Jacqueline Snyder. She has helped launch and grow over 500 fashion apparel and accessory brands, even one of her own.
And together, we share our inventory of secret weapons that will help you dig deep and do the work it takes.
Are you ready? Let's build together.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Product Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Jacqueline Snyder, with my wonderful co-host, Mina Kunlo-Sitep. Hey, Mina.
Hey, Jacqueline.
So today we are really excited to have a very special guest with us. We have CEO and founder of the Smell Sweet Company, Rachel Ricker, with us. Hey, Rachel.
Hi, ladies. Thanks for having me.
We're so excited to have you here. So Rachel, tell our listeners about your product. What do you sell?
Okay. Yeah. So like you said, Jacqueline, I'm the founder and CEO of Smell Sweet Company, which is an e-commerce shop offering USDA-certified organic deodorant and other natural body products such as masks and scrubs. And we are a female-focused brand. Yay. Providing women a truly trustworthy experience, I guess you could say, so they feel confident in the products they're putting on their body only contain the highest quality, safe ingredients. And unfortunately, as many women probably know, it's not easy. It's not easy at all with all the mismessaging. And, and that's really a driving factor of why I started Smell Sweet Company. I was personally in search of a really clean, transparent deodorant company that also met my needs ethically, and I couldn't find it. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it myself.
Amazing. So how long have you been in business?
So we officially launched May of 2019. So about 10 months from official launch. However, I would say probably equal amount of 10 months went into, maybe a little less, product development and research and all that went into it before we could obviously launch.
Right. Yeah. Some people want to launch something in a couple of days and it's like, or a couple of months. You're like, nope, there's a lot of development time and then production time before you actually come out with your product.
Exactly. Especially if you're going to get like certifications, like going through the USDA certification is not quick, and it shouldn't be. And that's what, why it makes it so difficult to achieve. So yeah, that added some time.
What background do you come from, Rachel?
So I actually went to a big entrepreneurial college here over on the East Coast. I'm based in New Hampshire, Babson College. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but so my background is in entrepreneurship and finance. And freshman year, we run our own business. So that's where I kind of started a little bit of getting that into my bones and my blood is in college. So I have that background. And then I'm also the director of global operations transformation for a Fortune 50 company. So I do that as well.
Tell us about that. Tell us about the business you started then while you were in college.
Yeah, I know. It was fun, exciting, but it was also super scary as just, a kid, 18 years old, running your own business with a group. So, so what happens is freshman year, they throw you into it. It's called Fundamental Management Experience, or FME. And it basically, the first half of the semester, they give you a crash course in every possible area of a business. So HR, ops, tech, accounting, everything. And then the second half, you develop business ideas. Your class gets split up into groups, and then you pitch those ideas. And then what wins, and you develop a detailed business plan. And then you legit run a business. But what's great about it is you have your professors guiding you, and then you have different roles. So you have someone who does HR, someone who's focused on marketing, etc. I was always in operations because that's just my brain. Just ops. I'm not creative, I guess you could say. I don't have that. I don't have the marketing. So we literally run our own business. It was called Fuzzy Wraps. I still crack up on that. And it was just it was like fleece blankets that you could embroider. So we had Babson embroidered, or, Mom of the Year, and you could pick colors. And this was before Etsy. So this was 20 years ago. And this was really new to be able to do something like this so customized. And, that's when my brain started thinking, if Fuzzy Wraps can be successful, because I think we were either second or third out of all the FME classes in profitability. So I'm if Fuzzy Wraps can be successful, oh my gosh, what other things could be successful? So it definitely got my brain thinking about that. But I was always, I don't know if I'm more traditional in my mindset, but I always thought, you go to college, you get a corporate job, you get married, you have babies, then I guess,
that old-fashioned tale.
Right.
So entrepreneurism obviously was in you. You, as a teenager, decided to go to the college that you went to, and you had this really cool experience. So let's fast forward to 10 months ago, launching Smell Sweet Company. So you had the idea that because you could not find a product that you wanted to use on your body, and you created this product. So tell us a little bit about your launch and maybe some things that happened that you weren't expecting.
So I knew I wanted to make a change. As I was walking down the aisles of Target, my favorite place, and that's when I noticed there was really nothing that I could find that I even knew how to pronounce ingredients on the label, even some of the natural ones. And that's when I really just started to research. I did so much research. I actually took online courses about ingredients and development and what ingredients play in deodorant and why they're used, and also what ingredients some companies use because it's cheaper. And I just immersed myself. I found it so interesting, and I couldn't stop. So I just started really researching it. And then my first goal was to find a manufacturer. So with being USDA certified organic, you also need the facility that the product is manufactured at to be certified as well. So they go through QAs, like the USDA comes in, checks out their facility, and they have to get recertified every single year. So I knew that was far and few between. There's not a lot of places. So I would say that was my first thing I really wanted to do, was find a facility that was great, a manufacturer that also had a contact with labs to develop my product. And that's what I spent a lot of months on, just really researching. A lot of, to be honest, the USDA facilities that I found were in the Midwest. And I don't know why, but that's what I found. And so that was a lot of research on Google, but I also used contacts from, my college as well. Being from Babson, we do have a lot of great contacts. So I'm all for networking and using those. So I found my manufacturer. We worked extensively on the formulation. And then when I got that solid, I knew I wanted to really focus on my branding, because that's something that I'm not the greatest at. Like I said, I'm an ops tech mind, not so much the creative. So I just researched, and I knew I wanted to use a female, because I'm a female focused brand. So I just found someone that I thought would fit perfectly. And to be honest, they weren't too expensive, because I'm funding this all myself. And just really create a fun, feminine, pretty wellness brand. A lot of wellness brands use kind of like muted colors, or want to look the natural route. And I was like, it can still be luxurious and bright and pretty and still be organic. So, so I worked on the branding with them for a while. And then packaging, there's so much that goes into it. So it definitely took months and months and months. And again, I was doing this at night. I was putting in the work at night and on the weekends, and after I put my kids to bed, because I had a day job, and that's the one that pays the bills. So that's my focus.
And you have two kids, right?
I do.
So let me ask you a question really quick, because we're talking about packaging and USDA and organic and sort of like the red tape or whatever you had to kind of go through. How about the vegan and cruelty-free logos?
Yes. So those are also, you need to be certified to use those. If you want to use the exact logo. So
what did that process look like?
So it's all worked through with my manufacturer. So I pay my manufacturer, and they work directly, which is awesome, with PETA. So there's two different ones for cruelty-free, Leaping Bunny and PETA. We have both certifications, but some companies just have one or none. And then vegan is another certification that's separate, and they did it with me, for me. So, so the facility that you make it in also has to be certified.
Okay.
Yep.
So we know that you have the deodorants, which are beautiful, and the smells, like you call it luscious lavender, for example, like some really great descriptors. But something that I find really interesting is that you have other products that they're kind of new. So you have underarm care, so underarm face masks, underarm masks that detoxify. So when you launched your business, did you start with all of these products, or were these products, secondary that were rolled out later?
Yeah, no, I launched all of them.
Okay.
And so the Prep Suite Detoxify is really important to launch in parallel with my deodorant, because in all my research, I realized how important it is. And it's such a step that people don't even think it's needed. But the odor is actually coming from the bad bacteria that feeds off like your dead skin cells in your underarms. I know it sounds gross, but it's true. And no matter what you do when you're clean, you still have that. So it just pulls all that guck out. I actually use it almost daily. So consistency is key. And I knew it needed to be in parallel to get the full effect of an organic deodorant. With non-organic, like ones that have aluminum, so antiperspirants, you don't really need that as much, because what that does is it seeps into your pores and is more of a blocker. So you don't want to pull it out. Well, you do, because it's heavy metal and it's terrible for you, but that it doesn't work if you use a detox. So with organic deodorant, you have to do that. So the mask is super important. And then the scrub is just to use in parallel and all over your body, because it's just amazing. And then everyone loves a good lip balm. And I couldn't find one that I love that was organic. I know there's some companies, the ones that are really big, but I wanted just a regular one. So I made that myself as well. But yeah, so I definitely wanted them all to launch at one time in parallel. And I'm considering, now that we're scaling, to introduce some additional products to our product line. But I wanted to keep it pretty simple. Like, as you can see, my scrub is only 1 cent. My mask, there's only 1. There's 4 deodorant scents at this time. We're currently working on a new scent right now, but I wanted to start with very few products and very few variants of those products.
That's great. So can you tell us where you're currently selling?
So I'm direct to consumer on smellsweetcompany.com. So our website is really, through our Instagram sync to it, but it's just our website right now. So we have an e-commerce shop, and we also have a subscription portion.
And then how do you drive people to your website?
Yeah, so we drive them through Instagram. We have a really good following there. Facebook. We also do giveaways. We have a pretty good email list that we've grown over the past year. Yeah, we don't do many events. I haven't done many events. I've done a couple. But yeah, those are the main ways. Also influencers. I'm just starting to get more into that. Actually today, I'm really excited. The editor of Motherly just posted a shout out that she loves Smell Sweet Company deodorant. So I was so excited. And I got her by just reaching out to her in a DM.
Let's talk about Instagram real fast. So you said a lot of traffic comes that way. And on one of your most recent posts is that you guys actually do monthly giveaways.
Yes, we do. Okay. We do giveaways monthly, but that monthly giveaway is based off of people who we just started them, and I love it because we're starting to get more reviews. It's people who have used our product and give an honest review on either Facebook, Instagram, or our website.
Okay, so you're doing, and so how do you email that out to your customers? Like, how do you get them to know about that? Okay,
yeah. So I email them, and I also, in our latest insert that we send with our product, that is also in there as well.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, it's really helped because we get a lot of feedback, but it's a lot of emails or people saying, I love it. And I'm just like, we need to drive more to have that visibility. So that's why we started that giveaway, and we've had a lot more reviews.
Incredible. So, all right. So right now you sell direct to customer, and you've been getting it through building your email list and also through social media. And what's next for Smell Sweet Company? Like for platforms, for expansion? I know you talked about that you're adding potentially a couple other products or scents.
Yes.
What else is next for you guys?
Oh, yay. So we're adding a new scent, and I actually chose the scent because of surveys. So we did surveys to our list and to our existing customers, as well as people who have not purchased from us yet, to ask them, it was great because we asked them questions like, if you've purchased from us, what are the top reasons? And we gave them like a list, USDA organic, all natural products, price, scents, other product options. And we really got to see what people's importance was. Like, was it just stating that we have natural ingredients, or was it the seal, or was it, the scents we have? So that's how we figured out our later scent. It's going to be, I haven't said anything yet, but it's going to be a citrus scent, and it's wonderful, and it's in the works right now. But what we're doing along with that is we're adjusting our container. So currently we have actually a 60% plastic-free container, which is really good for the organic deodorant marketplace. And it's recyclable, but we're always looking to, further that and really become even more environmentally friendly. It's just very difficult. So if you're vegan, you obviously can't use beeswax. You use carnauba wax. So with that, it coagulates very easily, and it's just using like a cardboard or a container like that is quite difficult. So you don't see that a ton. So anything that's truly organic and vegan, it is very difficult to be in a cardboard container. But we've been working on it for the past few months with our manufacturer, and it is so close. You guys, I'm so excited. So we're going to likely have like a push pop almost. And we're going to introduce that with our latest scent just to see, test it to say, we're still going to keep our other scents in what they have for right now, but test this new scent in this new container. So we're super excited about that. We also, just from a platform perspective, like you guys,
multi-stream machine. Thank you.
Yes, I love it. So we've been only in the one platform, really, the website, but you need that multi-stream machine. So we got on Range Me. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's basically like this site where if you want to get into some stores, it's a requirement. So like Whole Foods. And so I have a contact at Whole Foods. So what we're doing is we got on Range Me, and we're starting to feel that out. It's new to us. So, we're taking it slow, but yeah, it's really exciting. And I think the next platform for us is going to be stores.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We do teach about Range Me on multi-stream machine, because there's certain products that do really well on that. Yes. So it's really exciting to see what you do with that.
Right. Yeah, I'm curious. Are you on a Shopify site? Is that what you're on?
Yes, Shopify.
And then how did you do that survey? Just thinking about the tech of it. How did you do that survey? Was it an app on there, or was it just respond to this email?
So, yep, I'm on Shopify. The survey was through email.
Through email. Okay. Yeah. So they just responded to, okay.
Well, yeah, it was through an app though. I got them through an email, but it was through
like a post-purchase.
A Shopify app.
Right? No, it was just through my email list, but it was like almost like a type form.
Like a third party app. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But not through your website.
So you just sync with Klaviyo and, just.
Got it. Okay, great.
So I have a question. You have a free guide. And I'm wondering, because we teach a lot about opt-ins, and typically if any of you follow service-based businesses, or like if you've ever followed that model, people are like, you need an opt-in to grow your email list. Product people, typically that opt-in tends to be, 10% off your first order, 15% off your first order. But I do see that you have a free guide. It's a toxic-free living in 5 simple steps guide that they can get if they give you their email address. How much of your traffic comes in through that? Like, do you optimize that opt-in? Is it on Pinterest, SEO? Could you tell me a little bit more about it?
We definitely optimize it. And usually there's a pop-up for it as well when people go to our site. However, right now we're doing a giveaway, so the pop-up leads to the giveaway. Mm-hmm. So that opt-in is big for us. We also have an opt-in where if people want to be friends with us, we say want to be friends, and they can get 10% off if they give us their email that way. But I find 9 times out of 10, people choose the opt-in with the free guide.
And you chose toxic-free living, but it's how to detoxify your bathroom. So did you decide to lean into the bathroom because that's where they apply deodorant? Or
Absolutely.
What was, okay.
Yep. Absolutely. You keep your deodorant in your bathroom. So
you're like, so I just wanted to point that out, because for our listeners, basically, sometimes they're not sure what to start with an opt-in. And this is just so specifically that it's not, you're not saying, even the top 5 cosmetic products necessarily. You're saying how to detoxify the bathroom, that your body's in that bathroom. And is one of them your deodorant in this 5 tips?
It is. And so what it is one of my deodorants, the first one, and I just talk about why. And then the second page of that opt-in is more about it, like what our specific deodorant could bring, to them and their healthy lifestyle.
So just as listeners are thinking about this in their business, what are people, what else does your, customer care about, or what are they concerned about? And how can you create some sort of opt-in that is something that you could bring in through SEO or put on Pinterest so people click on it where they want to think about this, but then all of a sudden they're like, oh wait, but here's this, natural deodorant. So it's very smart. Obviously showing that your business has been built on your Shopify site and directly to customers, and that you have been able to build this traffic through your social, through this opt-in, really on your own, which is quite amazing and organically.
Yeah, and that's definitely I started Pinterest maybe in October of last year, so not a very long, but that is definitely one of my most clickable pins is our opt-in around this 5 simple steps.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, Rachel, I have a question about you being the face of your brand. Are you leading with you being the face of the brand? How have you found that has been working? I see you a bit on your Instagram feed. How are you approaching that?
Yeah, so great question, because I always went back and forth. And to be honest, I still kind of do. At first, I was like, no, I don't want to be the face of the brand. I want to, the products and our models and just people who talk about it to be more of it. But as I got into it, my mindset changed. I'm definitely now posting myself, like talking about stuff in my stories and just being really just me and relatable and authentic and what I would want in a brand. I think that's how we beat out these big brand names that you see every day, like at the Target. And, I can rattle off, the top 3 deodorant brands that just have tons of, capital. But they don't have that personal aspect to it. And I said, I just wanted to lean into that. And now more than ever, I have been. And I really think it has increased not only sales, but increased my love for this business. I don't know if that sounds weird, but I actually just feel even more invested. I love it. I do like silly videos now. It's fun.
Yeah, you're doing such a great job. Do you do all your social media, like your Instagram? Is that you, or do you have a team behind you?
That is me. I'm very anal. About it. I don't know why, but I am. Like, I really like it light, bright, the messaging, especially because we're such a, we're a new brand, we're a small business. So I definitely want to control that messaging. We did hire a company to do our advertisements, so our Facebook ads, but not the actual posting to our Instagram.
How did that go? How did your Facebook ads go?
Yeah, I didn't love it. So we started with a business that covered it. So not just like a person, but an actual big company took over our Facebook ad account, and it's very expensive. So
an agency, right?
An agency, yeah.
Did they take a cut too, or no?
No. So I paid them a monthly fee plus my ad spend. And, that's close to, I'll be honest, that was like $10,000 a month. And I'm a small business, kept doing it myself. And I wasn't seeing the return. And I was seeing the return in the sense like slowly, which obviously that's the case. I just couldn't consistently be doing that. It was not worth it. And I'm a, self-funded business at this time. I am working on and getting into this program around investor readiness. But prior to that, I'm self-funded, and I couldn't spend that money. It's just crazy for the return. So it didn't work out. I wanted to try it though, because I wanted to see if I only did it for a couple of months because that's really all I could do. And I wanted to say at least I tried it. It just wasn't the right timing.
Take us a little bit more behind the scenes. Like, were there any mistakes that you made that you wanted to share perhaps, or any unexpected surprises that you realized? Anything like that?
Yeah, there's so many. Gosh, like probably so many mistakes. Trying to just do it yourself, and so many surprises. A surprise. I know people talk about, and probably your listeners know about a pre-launch. I didn't really understand the concept when I first, dove in. you guys, it is so important to do a pre-launch. So you really are testing not only your idea, but your potential customers on what they want. And I was late in the game. I should have started I only did my pre-launch for a couple of months. I wish I did it longer. I really do. Because it not only brings them on for the journey, you can get such great feedback for free. You're just getting their input, getting their feedback, growing your email list. And what I did with my pre-launch, even though I came late into the game, I wish I, again, did it longer. I just did a simple giveaway. You don't even have to do anything, that costs a lot of money. Like I didn't even have my product yet, but I said, once you launch, you can win my product, and some other stuff as well. So not just my product, because they're probably like, who are you? So definitely I recommend a decent length of a pre-launch.
And then in that case, you're, validating your product is what you mean, right? Because you haven't actually launched. So they are anticipating that you will launch, but you're not really giving anything away yet, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you would think like, who would want to give an email or get involved in something that hasn't even come out? But you'd be surprised in how many people just want to be in for the journey. So,
yeah. So Rachel, we like to wrap up our interviews with a few quick fire questions. Did you want to jump into those?
Yeah, they're fun. I'm sure if you've listened to the podcast, you've heard them.
Yes, I've heard a few of them.
Okay, well, we're so glad that you've been on this podcast. But the fun questions so we're going to start. What is your coffee order?
So yeah, it's nitro with sweet cream, except.
Oh my gosh, that's my coffee order.
Is it?
The twins. Yes, at Starbucks. It's amazing, right?
Good. It's so good, except I went vegan for a little while. So it was quite hard because the sweet cream, I tell you,
yes,
something for you. So I still stay away from dairy, but I have to have my nitro with sweet cream. I have to.
There's some things, and the thing with Starbucks is they haven't really moved into, they've got alternative milks, but there's just some things you can't replace. Okay. What is the favorite thing on your desk?
Yeah, so I think it's, at least right now, it's this little bottle called Little Ray of Sunshine. And my best friend made it for me. And it's just like a spray. And I spray it and it just smells so great. And I get a little bit of seasonal depression, I guess you could say. And I just so this time of year, you just spray it. It's a little uplifting while we work from home.
I love that. Okay, so finish the sentence. When I pick up my phone, I immediately check my email. Literally, like I wake up, my phone is next to my bed, I roll over and I check my emails because I don't respond to any of them. I just look through them all, especially with my, my 9-to-5 job, just to kind of get an idea of what's going on through the day. What do I need to do? I can't literally have my coffee, enjoy my kids or brush my teeth without knowing. Most people are like, oh, stay away from your phone in the morning. I have to look at my email. Yeah. Okay. So you wish you knew how to.
Yeah. I wish I knew how, I know this is probably weird, but I wish I knew how to high dive, because I've always been intrigued how people can do all these flips and make these tiny little splashes. I don't know how it's possible.
So random, but amazing.
But I want to do it.
It's true. It's actually fascinating watching those, watching it.
I'm addicted to watching it. And I'm just like, how's the splash so little? I don't know.
So I love that answer. What was the last show that you binge watched?
Yeah. So I just got over, I don't know if this is an old show or not. I don't think it's too old, but Schitt's Creek. And it is so funny. And David is the best character ever.
Yeah. And then what should the title in your email signature actually say?
Oh gosh, I don't know. This is a good one. I don't know. Does everything.
Doer of all.
Doer of all. I like that. Okay. Perfect.
There you are. And then do you have an alter ego or a stage persona?
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm a what you see is what you get type person. My brand is all about transparency and ingredients in the personal care industry, and I just want to carry that through into my everyday life. But I was thinking about this, and when I was in high school, there was this like amazing sub shop that we always grab lunch at during our breaks, lifeguarding on the Cape. And you basically place your order, a guy makes it, and then yells it out, your name when it's ready. And for some reason, I always gave them the name Skylar. Like, I just thought it was so like amazing and cool, being like a high school kid, like, ooh, Skylar.
That's my sister's name. And she's amazing. So
she'll love and cool.
She is.
Oh yeah. So that was my go-to sub name.
I love that. Okay. So what is your most used or favorite emoji?
Yeah, I love this question. You guys, I love hearing people's answers too. Mine's definitely, I have two, like the 2 arms up, like praise the Lord or bowing one for sure is my all-time favorite. And I also use a lot like the I don't know shoulder shrug.
Oh, the shoulder shrug. I know. That's really good.
I love those two. Like,
okay.
I don't know.
So, Rachel, we very much believe entrepreneur years are like dog years. You learn a lot very quickly. What would you say to baby Rachel, I guess 10 months ago, right? If you could go back and give some advice now that you're further along on your entrepreneurial journey?
Oh, good question. I would definitely say start earlier, because even with all my background, I waited 20 years pretty much to start my company. And I wish I just gave myself the chance to say, I can do this. Like, I can have a job, I can run a household, I can have kids, I can be a great mom and still run a business that rocks. So I wish I started this years ago and I had, that confidence to do so.
Amazing.
I love that.
Thank you. And please tell our listeners how they can connect with you and how they can purchase Smell Sweet.
Yeah. So smellsweetcompany.com is where you can purchase us. And you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Smell Sweet Company. Our Instagram is super light, bright, feminine, fun. And normally basically all the time, you're talking to me. So I really love engaging with my customers. I do. I don't know if I can give it up. I do have a VA that helps me sometimes, but I really love it. So yeah.
Yeah, Mina and I, same. We hired someone to manage our Instagram at some point. We've taken it back, but we also are always in the DM.
Yes.
And really the coolest thing about Instagram is that no matter who it is, I always talk about like Matthew McConaughey, but like he's in his DM technically, right? They don't typically have people, even if they're managing it, they get those alerts. So I love that you can connect with that outreach through the DM.
Absolutely. It's great.
So thank you so much for being on the Product Boss podcast as always. And we cannot wait to see where and how you grow.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel, for being on the podcast. So guys, she has a very special offer for the listeners of the Product Boss podcast. If you head over to smellsweetcompany.com, and you can get that in the show notes, and you make your first purchase, she's actually giving 20% off of her products for our listeners. All you have to do is use the code TheProductBoss at checkout, and you can get 20% off her products. I mean, that is an amazing deal.
Yeah, thanks so much, Rachel. She was so generous with her content, and we are just so excited to see how her business grows. So again, that's The Product Boss at her website, and you'll get 20% off.
And then, as you guys heard in this episode, Rachel has really built this brand organically using Pinterest and using Instagram and really engaging with her customers. If you have not already purchased a year of content, this episode is brought to you by a year of content made by The Product Boss. And that's where we teach you how to create content that engages with your customers without always yelling, buy now, or sale. And you can access that amazing course at ayearofcontent.com and check out the show notes for that.
Yeah, we made it super affordable. It's only $37, and we are so excited. We've seen thousands of students go through it, and they are loving it because they finally know what to say to their customers. So check that out. I put all the links into the show notes.
This episode is over, but it doesn't have to end. Head over to our Facebook group, search for the Product Boss Biz Community, or the link is also in the show notes. Come connect with other product bosses just like you. We'll see you in there.
If you love the Product Boss podcast, we'd love for you to subscribe, share, rate, and give a review on iTunes. Until next time, Product Bosses, let's make it happen.